Okay, recording. Hello, everybody. This is Movies and Yoga with Via. Today is April 2nd, 2022. And it's very unusual that I teach on teach on Saturdays. I can't even say Saturdays because it feels like a Tuesday. But Kathy was gracious enough to switch with me so I could have a nice vacation in Yalapa last week. But we'll be back to our regular schedule next week. I'll teach on Tuesday and Kathy will teach on Saturday. Before we start, I want to tell you about my results from my Dexa Scan, because I've been 6 months on Algical, strontium, and triple power, which are three of the products that Algical makes for reversing bone density. And I have amazing results. Apparently, I have to go look again at what the Algical people said, but my percentages are like dramatically higher than average. I increased my lumbar in 6 months. I increased my lumbar bone density 10.4%, my left femur 6%, my right femur 10.3%, and my right forearm increased, my wrist increased 14.3%. So I will keep doing what I'm doing. Well, I'll have another, report in 6 months, but this was more than anybody expected, I guess. So like I say, I'll keep doing what I'm doing, including the Algical and the movement, because I think movement is important, but I don't think it's enough. Obviously, it's not enough. Let's start in the ordinary fashion with your legs up on a chair. And I'm going to time for 7 minutes. And if anyone, by the way, would like my scores, to see my scores, just let me know and I'll send them to you. We're going to be here for 7 minutes. Just paying attention to your breath. If you start thinking instead of breathing, just gently, without judgment, bring yourself back to attention to breath. Okay, stay where you are and just move your head right and left. Don't move anything else. And now, vagus nerve reset. Put your head on a pillow or something else. Without moving anything else but your eyeballs, shift your eyeballs to the right and wait for a sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center. Shift to the eyeballs to the left, nothing else. And wait for a sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Return to center. 2 more times, right, left, without my cueing. Come back to center. You can continue doing that if you want while I tell this story. While I was in Yalapa, one of the people in our group is suffering from anxiety and is looking for ways to address it. And I told him about vagus nerve reset, and he looked it up on the computer. And that's the most interesting thing, I think, to you guys. If you ever want to describe this to someone, all you have to do, you can Google the instructions, vagus nerve reset, and get approximately the same instructions as I'm giving you. So that was quite a bit of information for me. Let's go to the head ramping. Put whatever you want underneath your head. And then press the occipital ridge, the base of the skull, back towards the floor. Hold, and then release. And do that 5 more times. Press, hold, breathe, and then release. And when you're finished, we're going to do some prone breath work. So come off of your chair or your couch or whatever and come into a prone position. I want your hips to be up in the air. And so first you're starting on your hands and then your knees, and then you're coming down to your elbows. You can make a little triangle with your elbows and your clasp hands. Drop your head there. And we're going to do, well, first of all, we're just going to breathe. And so just so you know, prone breath work is something that some doctors across the country are doing for COVID, because COVID is a respiratory infection. And this breathing prone helps with respiratory issues. So I want you to just you could do just a breath, just an in and out, or you can do a breathing pattern, any of the breathing patterns that we've done supine. And now we're going to morph into a hypopressive, prone hypopressive from the same position. Kathy, are you comfortable? Is your head comfortable? Okay, good, because it looked like you might want to, I don't know, do something, make an adjustment. Okay.
I'm fine.
You're fine. Okay, good. So from here, we're going to take 3 breaths, regular breaths, and then after the 3rd breath, hold the breath out, no breath, for 15 counts or as much as you can do. So inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale out, all the way out. Hold your breath out, no breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Inhale, regular, and exhale. You can come back, drop into a child's pose just as a transition. We're going to do one more of these. In your child pose, your hips are down towards your heels. You can bring your arm, you can leave your arms where they are, or you can stretch your arms straight out in front of you for a shoulder stretch. But this should be a relaxing transitional pose. It's a pose you could always come to if you need to. If there's something you don't want to do, or if you become fatigued during a practice. Okay, now lift your hips and drop your elbows. Create a triangle with your head by your hands. 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, all the way out. Hold your breath out, no breath. This is the hypopressive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Inhale and exhale all the way out. You're done. Come to a floor seated position. Probably cross-legged. Yes, cross-legged. Let's do the standard side bend, spine twist, and then we'll do stacked knees with a wrist twist. So starting on the right side, sitting tall, and a right arm goes up along the mat. The left arm comes up and over. Stay here and breathe. Enjoy the C curve. And now drop your elbow, your top elbow forward, create another stretch. Still C curve, but another stretch along the armpit. And slowly the elbow comes up, and then the torso comes up. Maybe I can make that softer. Let's see. Other side. Left arm along the mat. Out. Right arm up and over. And stay here and breathe. You can move your head from side to side if you like. Elbow forward, top elbow forward for the rest of the pose. And come on up, elbow first, and then the torso. Now we're going to do a spine twist. You may want to switch the cross of your legs. Put your left hand on your right knee. Take your right arm behind you, spider fingers. And stay here. So sit tall, stay here. Remember, while you're here in your spinal twist, you can move your head from side to side or move your rib cage from side to side, either one. And slowly unwind, come to the other side. Right hand on left knee. Sit tall, take your left hand behind you, spinal rotation. And remember, while the clock is running, you could also move your head from side to side or move your rib cage from side to side. And slowly unwind, come back, stack your knees one on top of the other if you can. This is a big hip opener, big sacrum opener. And then we're just going to do a wrist twist as well on top of this. So arms out in front of you, palms facing away from each other, and take your right hand and bring it up and then over and clasp. And now bring the clasped hands down towards your belly button and then up towards your chin. And this is the position we're going to stay in, sit really tall. This is a whole body movement. Working the hips and the shoulders and the wrists. Sit tall. And slowly unravel, switch your legs. So the knee that was on top is on the bottom, the stacked knee, and the knee that's was on the bottom is on the top. Bring your hands out in front of you, palms facing away from each other. The left hand comes up and over, so it clasps. So your hands are clasped. And then drop the clasped hands towards your knees, towards your belly button, towards your chin, chest, chin. Sit here, and I'll put the timer on for a wrist twist and a hip opener, a sacrum opener. Sit tall, spine tall. Even though you're internally rotating your shoulders, actually. You can try squeezing your shoulder blades together a little to stay tall. And slowly unravel. Shake your hands. Shake your hands, shake your fingers. And find your way onto the floor for side lying triplet. Lie on your left side first. You may want to put a brick. Oh, somehow I've got a menu up here. Okay. You may want to put a brick or a pillow under your head. I'm going to get a brick. Lie on your side. Bend your knees. Bend your knees. And your ankles are together and your knees are stacked and your shoulders are stacked. Take your right hand and put it out in front of you. Sunrise, sunset, we're going to do. So the arm comes up towards the ceiling and it comes down. And try not to move anything but your arm. And do this 5 more times. Sunrise, sunset, it's also called lateral, abduction, adduction. One more. And now bring your arm down on your hip. And we're going to do shoulder circles. So just start backwards first and all the way back behind you and then up by your ear. And then in front of you by your hip. Keep going. We'll do this 5 more times. Slowly with awareness and breath so that the attention is on the breath and the movement. One more. And when your arm reaches your hip, move, this time move in the opposite direction for 6 times. The reason I included this side lying series is I can't imagine doing something that focuses on shoulders without doing this shoulder circle.
This is one of my favorite shoulder workouts.
Yeah, it's a really nice shoulder work, but you can't do it lying on your back. Not available. And I lost track. Do one more.
I did too, but I think we're there.
We're about there. And then the last thing I want you to do here, let's see here, is a spine twist. All we're going to do is stay here and then bring your arm, your top arm behind you. And you can actually stop stacking the hips. The top hip might shift. Bring your arm behind you as far as it can go. It might hit the floor. Maybe you'll want to put it on something, a brick or a pillow. We're just going to be here for 40 seconds. It's a big old stretch. Chest opener stretch. Your head can be looking toward the ceiling or in one direction or the other, towards one arm or the other. The knees are not stacked, no longer stacked. Nothing is stacked, actually. You're just opening up in the chest and the upper back. You should maybe feel this in the front of the chest. And slowly come out of that and switch sides. So you're lying on your other side. So we can finish this mini side-lying shoulder series. So the first thing you're going to do is sunrise, sunset. Remember that your knees are bent and your hips are stacked and your ankles are stacked and your shoulders are stacked. Arm out in front of you, top arm, and bring your arm up and back down, and do this 5 more times. And just be very, very deliberate with your attention to your movement. The attention slows it down a bit. Last one. Go ahead and bring your hand along your hip and start your shoulder circles. I start backwards. So bring your arm back, up by your ear, in front of you. And that's 1 circle. Do 5 more. Breathing and moving. Last one. And then go ahead and we're going to do this. It's a spinal twist, a supine spine twist. You're just going to take your arm up towards the ceiling first. Oh, we didn't do the other direction. Sorry, other direction.
Okay.
Other direction, shoulder circles. 6 times altogether.
Okay.
Okay. Now, shoulder opener. So just bring your arm up to the ceiling and then out behind you. And I'm going to time for 40 seconds. And remember, nothing is stacked. The knees, the top hip goes behind you. So does the top shoulder. And you may be able to reach the floor with your left hand, with your other hand, or you may have to put it on a brick or a pile of blankets. Actually, there are 2 ways to do this, and one of them is to keep the knees stacked. And the other is to let the knees go. And slowly come out of that. And let's see what I've got planned next. I think it's a floor seated again. Yes, come up to floor seated. And find your neuro balls. We're going to sit with crossed legs, probably. And neuro balls, 5-point hand release.
That's what I thought we were doing.
So let me take my sweatshirt off. I'm apparently working up a sweat. Well, I am wearing 2 shirts. It's a little cold in Mexico, you guys, right now.
What's a little cold for you?
A little cold is, hold on, is, I'm guessing, let's see here, weather. I'm going to tell you in a minute, 76.
That's a little cold. Yeah, it's 48 here.
Oh, okay. All right, all right. Okay, first position. So remember, you could do it on I just do it on the floor, like Kathy does it on bricks, and so does Kate.
Kathy has short arms.
What?
Kathy has short arms.
Oh, Kathy has short arms.
If I do it on the floor, I have to lean.
Your choice. Always, you can always adapt here. So let's start with the first position, which is up above the center of the palm, near or on the metatarsal mound. And I'm going to come back from the weather to timer. Okay, 40 seconds. And just sit tall. Try not to shrug your shoulders. Try to keep them relaxed, but try to sit tall as well. So, so you're doing a number of different things here, which is nice. Some of them is postural. Proud chest. Proud chest. Shoulders relaxed. Breathing. Position number 2 is right down, smack dab in the middle of the palm. The third position is below the second position, at the bottom of the palm, in the middle. Okay, position number 4 is on the outside edge of the palm. And go to the fifth position, which is on the inside edge of the palm. It's right where in the webbing, right around the webbing between the thumb and the forefinger. I know classes are good because I went over to Yalapa. I took my balls with me, took my toe spacers with me, took my big therapy balls with me. I didn't touch them at all. I have to have, she's the teacher that has to have classes, otherwise very little. Oh, I do some things, but not those things that I intended to do. You guys keep me moving. Okay. And the last one is actually the one I made up. I don't think she has it on her description, is on the edge of the thumb, the base of the thumb. This is supposed to be a major pain point, pain release point in acupuncture or in acupressure. Okay, that's the end of that. Go ahead and switch your legs. If you're crossing your legs, switch to the other cross, or find another side, another floor seated position. We're going to do a cervical side bends. So the neck, bending the neck. And all you're going to do is sit tall, stay tall, sit tall, stay tall. And drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Hold on. And the clock is running. Sitting tall and just side bending the cervical spine, the neck. You feel a stretch on the opposite side. Oh, I forgot to drop the chin. I guess we won't do it on the other side either. Come on, come back up. And then drop your left ear to the left shoulder. Usually I drop the chin. We won't do that though. We'll do it on the next progression, which is adding resistance. Just dropping the left ear quietly to the left shoulder. Sitting tall, proud chest. Maybe you'll think about squeezing the shoulder blades a little bit together. And slowly come on back. Now we're going to add resistance and we'll drop the chin this time. So add resistance, drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Take your right hand and put it on your left ear. And then press up into the hand. So this is a totally different stretch. You should feel it totally different places. Press the head into the hand. And halfway through, I'm going to have you drop your chin, but I want you to lift your hand first before you do that. So lift your hand, drop your chin, put your hand back. You don't want to make that movement. You don't want to move while you're putting pressure on your spine. And now lift your hand and then bring your chin up and then bring your head up. Other side, left ear, left shoulder. Put your left hand on your right ear. Press up into, head presses up into the hand. And now go ahead and take your hand off, drop your chin, put your hand back and keep going. And now you're still resisting. And then slowly take your hand off, bring your chin up, and then bring your head up. Okay, shoulder shrugs. I want to do 2 ways of shoulder shrugging. The first one is just to bring your shoulders up as high as you can. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as high as you can, and then drop them quickly. And do that 5 more times. And drop. And squeeze or shrug. And drop. Number 4. Maybe that was 5, but let's call it number 4. And then number 5, shrug. As high as squeeze as much as you can and drop. And then the last one, squeeze and drop. And now alternating, shrug the right shoulder up towards your ear as high as you can, and then roll your head back and forth on that shoulder. So the shoulder and the head or neck should be meeting, and then you're just rolling back and forth over that shoulder. I think this is a delicious way to release tension in the neck and the shoulders. And then just stop and slowly let your shoulder go down and shrug the left shoulder as high as you can. And then roll forward and back over. So roll your head forward and back over the shrugged left shoulder. And then slowly stop the movement and then unshrug the shoulder. Let's do shoulder clams now. Switch your legs if you need to or want to. Clasp your hands in front of you, elbows as high as your chin. Imagine you have a balloon or a sponge ball between your elbows and squeeze in, deflate the imaginary balloon as far as you can, and then release and let it inflate the imaginary balloon. And we'll do that 5 more times. Squeeze. And you can experiment if you want with a different position in your elbows, but they would have to be higher, not lower. I call this shoulder clams, although there might be a better name for it. It seems like shoulder clams to me. 2 more. Should feel this across your shoulders, across your upper trapezius. Good. And now flying pizzas. Flying pizzas, get your elbows at your waist and your arms start in front of you. So you parallel and in front of you. And then as you bring them out to the side and you rotate them upward. So they become a pizza tray or a pizza. And then you come back, sit tall, and we'll do 5 more of these. Open up. So you're actually rotating the forearm. And then again. And 3 more. Should feel this in the upper scapula, the upper back. 1 more. And so let's see what I have next. Standing. Let's skip the standing and come to all fours on the floor. Wrist stretch. Come to your hands and knees. You may need to put something under your knees or your hands. And then take your right hand. This is alternating. So take your right hand and take it so the fingers are facing back towards your knee. And the first thing you want to do is just stretch your spider fingers. So you're high. So you're working a stretch for your fingers. We'll come down onto the palm in a minute. Fingers are facing backward towards your knee, your spidered fingers, and you may want to sit back. You can try sitting back towards the floor. "40 seconds, that seems like a long time, but that's what we got here. 4 more seconds. And then come on out of that. Let's do the other side. And before we come back to this side, palms, left hand, fingers facing the knee. And you're in spider fingers. So you're up high. We'll do the palm in a minute. And remember, you can tuck your hips and come back and try to get a little more stretch. And come on out. You can shake that out if you want. We're going to do the right hand with the palm down this time. So the right hand, the fingers facing the knee, and then the hand is totally on the floor. Now you may have to crawl it closer to your knee to get that down. Then the other so the factors are your hand closer or farther away from the knee, and then drop your hips and try to get a stretch. And go ahead and come out of that, shake that hand and go to the other side. And this time, remember the palm is all the way onto the floor. You may have to bring your hand closer to your knee to get that. And then you drop back into an almost seated position if you can. I can't do much. I think maybe I have some restrictions because of my broken humerus, not sure. And come on back, find your way, I think, running out of time. I guess I'll stop there. I'll be responsible and stop right there. And everyone can come into a position for Yoga Nidra. You'll have to do your back bend by yourself. Find a back bend sometime today. Back bend at the wall or back bend on the floor. And just find a comfortable place to be. Warm, safe, supported. And start to notice your breath. Breathing in and out and watching the abdomen as it rises and falls with the flow of your breath. And now bring your awareness and your attention to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes our 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Go ahead and start to wiggle, extend your legs, extend your arms overhead by your ears, stretch in both directions, stretch and stretch left and right and center, both. And then wiggle your fingers and your toes and circle your wrists and your ankles in one direction and then another, the other. Hug your right knee into your chest. And then release the right knee and hug your left knee into your chest. Hug both knees to your chest. And rock from side to side. Rock from side to side, and then whenever you're ready, roll onto your side, looking at the camera. And stay here for a minute just to thank yourself and thank yourselves for coming to this practice and giving yourself the self-care that you need. Nourishing your body with movement. And then use your top hand to bring yourself up to seated. And I'm going to remove the spotlight on Kathy. And then I'm going to change my view to gallery so I can see everybody. And you may want to do the same thing. We're going to close the class with namaste. While you're sitting tall, bring your hands to your heart and press on them strongly. You might be able to find some of the movement we did, shoulder work we did today. Say hello and thank you. And then soften your prayer pose and lift your occipital ridge away from your shoulders so that you can roll forward, nod forward with your skull only. The cervical spine stays straight. Nodding, bowing, recognizing each of us as a light. And then also recognizing that we are one light. And we'll close the class by saying to each other, namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you, everybody. Good class.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
welcome back.
Thank
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you. I'll see you next Tuesday. I'll teach next Tuesday as well. And then we'll be back in our regular pattern.
And we're
Well,
back.
welcome back, Diana. It's nice to see you. Oops, you're muted. You're muted. You're talking, but you're muted.
You're still recording.
I know. Oops. I mean, no, I don't know that. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.